Today, I'm going to be installing an exhaust on the 4RS. I went with the JCR rear valve section. It's a titanium, pretty nice piece. I know Dunnett isn't making anything right now for it except for the street header setup, and I don't really like the way that sounds. And this is, I think, the best titanium option for the car. It sounds the best on videos, at least. I haven't heard this exhaust in person. I did hear the Dunnett street headers, and I really didn't like it. I also heard the Soul Performance Race exhaust on the 4RS, and I didn't like that, so this is what I went with. I don't think it's going to sound super loud, which is kind of what I'm going for, because I think it's a pretty good sound inside the cabin with the airbox, but we will see. Also, I installed an exhaust on the G80 and I haven't uploaded that yet, so let's see if this gets uploaded. Also, before I put the exhaust on, I guess I'll do a cold start. I don't know if I'll rev it, but we'll see. So I took off the center diffuser and I was able to get off the 6 12mm nuts on both sides with just lifting up one side. It's kind of pain in the ass, busted my knuckles once, but it works, you can do it. Half them came off with the stud, half them without, so hopefully that's not a pain to pull it off of the studs on just a jack. But make sure you remove the vacuum lines. Just there's one on each side. I'm gonna check if there's any other clamps, but after that I think these are just these E12 bolts. I had to go buy those sockets because I didn't have any, and I've used like the universal ones, and they just kind of start to strip these. I mean, you can use them, but I don't think I recommend that. But yeah, gonna take off these 2 bolts, and then these 2 I think is the other set, and then it should pull right off. So I put this pretty bad jack here to support the exhaust while I drop it, and I also decided to remove the tips because I mean tips are really nice. Arkapovich exhaust from factory, and this just takes a E12 bolt, or just takes an E12 socket, and not much effort to take these off. So put these aside and keep these safe. And I also labeled them because my dumbass will probably forget that. Yeah. So yeah, just need to remove these 2 12mm bolts right here and here. I've loosened them up. These ones are really easy, the E12s on here. So yeah, let me get that off and then see how easy it is to pull off. But looks like I got a lot of movement here, so it should be easy. Also, if you're doing these yourself, these are kind of a pain in the ass right here. The supporting rod will spin once you get towards the bottom of the threads. But I was able to just put this like pretty bad 21 just on the inside and hold it. It's not too bad, it's just kind of a pain. I don't know what actual size this is, but 21 seemed to work to hold it at least. It doesn't need much pressure, but it's just like slightly more than your fingers can do. Got the stock exhaust off. It's actually pretty light, all things considered, so you can take it off without having a jack to support it. Just sit under it. Comes off pretty easily because you have enough space. I just had to jack up the car a little bit more to slide it under. I did notice on the JCR exhaust, you don't use these support brackets, and it looks like these are more of those E12 bolts. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove these on both sides. It looks like the exhaust is mainly mounted by these 3 bolts on the over axle pipes, and then the 2 bolts here. That bracket system right there just kind of sits here, and then you use these hose clamps and just put it onto the exhaust. I didn't really see any install guide, but I found someone else's YouTube video, kind of went over it on a regular GT4. So the setup seemed the same, so I'm just gonna follow that, and I think it should work. So this took a little longer than expected. It's next morning now. Got off the old exhaust, have the new one on, but these little brackets here, these clamps on this bracket are just a pain, and I didn't realize you had to put these clamps on with the bracket before you install the exhaust. So make sure you do that. These are like, honestly, you need like 2 people for these. because you're stretching it over this piece, and it's like, I don't know. I hate these style clamps. They're a pain, so I recommend having a friend to help you put those on. Maybe you'll get luckier, or maybe I'm just bad at doing them, but yeah. Other than that, I mean, pretty simple. 3 bolts on each side. Make sure you put the vacuum lines back on. I didn't, let's see. The way they're routed, they kind of hang down just in the right position, and it looks like the valve placement is the same on this car, on the factory exhaust. I saw videos of the regular GT4 exhaust, and the valves are actually placed on top of the exhaust. So this car's already set up for routing in this position. I wiped down the exhaust. I'm gonna put the tips on. I did a quick check to see if there's any like exhaust leaks or anything. It sounds good, but I will put the tips on and do a cold start. Also, found this nice nail in my tire. That's cool. So I need to order a new tire before I drive this and get exhaust clips, I guess, because that's in a terrible spot. Don't think I want to plug that.